So this week, we have two very different episodes. I think Spider-Sprig is going to be just, a fun episode where Sprig sees, like, the Spider-Man equivalent of, whatever's in the Amphibia world, and he's gonna be, like, vigilante and try and, like, do good around LA. And then we have Olivia and Yunan, which is going to be the two of them trying to help Marcy out. And I feel by the end of that episode, Marcy's going to be like the corrupted knight Marcy. I wouldn't be surprised if like the ending shot of that episode is what we saw from the trailer. So one of these is going to be a fun episode and the other one is just going to be like pain and suffering. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's going to be awful. But oh, I'm so excited. So let's get into it. All right. Spider-Sprig. Let's enjoy the shenanigans while they last. Oh, not what I was expect. Oh, that's why. All right. Okay, so Tarantula Man, is that the Spider-Man equivalent? So dramatic. So anime too. This does kind of look like Deltarune though. Oh man. Oh, Sprig's to be so inspired.
Inspiring.
Oh, yep, that's exactly the word I used.
That's because in Amphibia, we weren't in hiding. Fine.
That is true.
First of all, the idea that a vigilante would be given free rein.
He was just a mild man.
Here we go. Here's the YouTube rant. This is garbage, and here's why. What you gonna be like? Frogman? Is that what you're gonna be? I mean, we saw you do this last episode. Oh yeah, Frogman, that's exactly it.
You're never gonna solve systemic societal problems with a sock on your head!
I mean, true.
Now
Oh, he's so like angsty. Oh god.
Mom's gonna hate this. Dude, we're 8.
Yeah.
What's he?
Neighborhood safety supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
More like neighborhood butt cheek.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're probably not well liked.
Neighborhood ain't big.
Oh yeah, what's this guy gonna do? Get hit by the bus? That's it? Just slow it down with his body? Wow. I'm amazed that this man is not injured in any way.
Hey, what about me? I mean, I slowed the bus down first.
Uh-huh.
Hey. Oh, stupid frog man.
Oh god. So this is basically just Spider-Man. Oh, back to the junkyard, alright. Oh, so angy. Yeah, memes.
What's this?
Oh,
It's
alright.
kind of
Just not gonna question it at all. Oh god.
Okay, maybe
I'm sorry, is that a game pyramid?
He said he hated me and was gonna get his revenge. What's he doing here?
Sprig, you can be a little oblivious at times.
Cool robot arm. Where'd you get it?
Yeah, Sprig. Come on now.
like to know.
I know you're oblivious, but goodness.
Laser surgery.
You're not gonna question why it has a laser? That's just causing a whole bunch of destruction. What is it? Sonic? Yeah, Sonic running up the side of the building. Uh-huh. Lucky that car did not hit you. What was it? Mary Jo? Whatever her name was. Wow, wore that car. Girl almost got hit by 2 cars and now a pole. Molly Jo, sorry.
You're both just destructive attention seekers. Nothing more.
Wait.
It's so dramatic.
We'll clean this up.
Do you not know that that's your grandpa? Like, I mean, I know he's in a costume, but still.
You're definitely under arrest. Fair enough.
Yeah, why wasn't Sprig arrested though?
Looks like you've had a time. I have to admit, it was a pretty cool costume.
You've had like a
Like it?
past
I cut up
24
your clothes,
hours. All right, here we go. Here's the episode everyone's waiting for. Marcy when she first got here.
Who made a sacred vow to care for this land. The trees.
Alright. Interesting. I wonder if Lady Olivia is gonna like take over for Andrias. Cause I mean, let's be real, Andrias will probably be defeated, but I mean, she based on that would be the next in line, I guess, to take over.
And it's been weeks since the planters and Anne disappeared, and we haven't heard a peep from him
Many
since.
weeks.
Yes, I know, but the device hasn't even been tested. Surely we
just
should try it on
hear him
someone
in his
else
head?
first.
Well, that was freaky.
Oh,
Just a bit.
You two. And if anyone resists, give them a stern talking to.
Not too bad.
Just kidding. Terminate them.
If you're going to talk treason,
Count me in.
I insist that you do it in private.
Yeah, she wants to.
Dang right, he's gone too
Yeah.
far. And based on
Team up.
whatever, we need someone clever, someone who understands strategy, someone like
Marcy.
Wu. The human? Absolutely not. In case you haven't noticed, they're all scheming backstabbers.
And didn't. You know, so I mean, only 2 out of 3.
Great General Yunan is scared of some ridiculous rumors. I see what you're doing, and it's working. Lead the way, milady.
Stealth mission. Wow. They only have just like
And that's
this
how it's
this
done.
point of view. This much vision. Nothing above or to the side. Wait, I'm sorry. Is she being kept in the
Ominous.
creepy
After you, milady.
shadowfish crypt?
You knew this was
Then we're like revisiting this place. 'Cause we
Even I
haven't
was
seen it
strictly forbidden to come
since
here. But I
Sleepover
did
and
see
all.
town a few times as a girl.
Okay, does Lady Olivia know about the shadowfish?
I think it's where our ancestors kept all their otherworldly prisoners. Delightful.
Okay. It has the eye thing, like it has on the night. Oh hey, this is the same chamber? It looks very similar. Oh, what does that say?
Wake up, human!
Oh, well, don't hit. Oh my god! She's not well! What monster? Do we see that's from the trailer? Alright. No, it's gonna be like their worst fears. Yep. That's an appropriate reaction. Oh, see, even though Marcy's out of it, she's like, oh, this is fake.
What? That's just a cute little...
Oh, no, she's scared of those. Oh no, what's Marcy's fear now?
I know what I did was super dumb. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. It's too late.
I mean, here's the thing though. Sasha also betrayed you guys, so. Did she trip over? Oh, just nothing? Just, oh yeah, it's Marcy. She's gonna just trip over nothing anyway. Creepy, like, eldritch horror, body horror type stuff.
But, good job out there, everyone. Very nice hustle.
You're a general. You have, like, soldiers that work under you.
Alright, up and at 'em. Here we go.
Oh, yep, here we go.
We've been watching you the whole time.
Oh. Oh! It's got arms and leggies now. Oh. Okay. Well then.
But it wasn't until we met the shadowfish that we truly learned to conquer death. And thus, the core was born.
Okay.
The only one who could beat me at Flipward.
Oh. Why Flipward? That's such an... Like, I mean, I get it, strategy, but like... At the same time, just like, what an odd specification. Oh, man. Yeah, and then this is gonna be the thing from the trailer. Oh man, we're gonna actually get to hear the big plan? Or is it just gonna cut away at the end?
Hello there.
Yeah. I kind of figured that would be where it ended. Good thing we're doing like the quiet, ominous credits and not, you know, the usual ending credits, because that would have felt off given this episode. Oh man, there's gonna be a lot to unpack in this one. All the lore with like Lady Olivia. It's like, why is Andrias in charge if she was tasked and her family was tasked with taking care of Newtopia? Interesting. And then how the core plays a role in all of this. Like the shadowfish, how all that's connected. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot to unpack. I mean, this episode is gonna be good, and like, yeah, this is like definitely one of the best episodes in this series. Super highly anticipated. It's always nice when the highly anticipated episodes always live up to the hype. But oh man, yeah, Marcy got corrupted. She's a core host now, I guess. Boy. Oh, but that was such a good episode, though. Alright, so I'm going to be real here and say that I will mostly be focusing on Olivia and Yunan for this review. I liked Spider-Sprig, it was a cute and fun episode, and I thought that Sprig learned a good lesson in learning how to be helpful and do good without needing to be an attention-seeking vigilante. But this episode was basically a parody of Spider-Man. I mean, the episode title was Spider-Sprig, and we even had a character named Robert Otto, a parody of Dr. Otto Octavius, aka Dr. Octopus. And the name Robert is likely a reference to the voice actor Brad Gernstenfeld, who played Robert Barone in Everybody Loves Raymond. And there was also Molly Jo, a parody to Molly Jane. It was a fun and lighthearted episode to soften the blow for the following episode, Olivia and Yunan. We open this episode with a flashback when Marcy arrived to Newtopia, apparently after falling down those stairs because of her cast and crutch. This flashback is from Lady Olivia's perspective, where she tells Marcy that she is from a long line of newts who made a sacred vow to care for the land, which for me begs the question of how much power does Olivia's family have? She appears to be an advisor of some kind to Andrias, and it seems for some time since her mother appeared to have the same role as well. I'm assuming Andrias will be defeated and no longer be ruler, so I feel like Olivia's backstory here is setting her up to likely take over one day and properly rule. Aside from the backstory though, Olivia and Marcy both make a promise of sorts to help each other protect Newtopia. We didn't get to see these two interact that much in season 2, and when we did, it was mostly in sleepover to end all sleepovers, and Marcy was playing pranks with the others, so it's nice to see that these two did have a deeper connection. Unfortunately though, that promise and relationship is in a pretty bad spot right now since Andrias is harvesting resources and Marcy is trapped in a tank to be a host. Olivia and Yunan are both summoned by Andrias, where they see that he is talking to what will later be revealed as the core. The conversation they are having is regarding the use of the machine to turn Marcy into a host. Andrias saying that it hasn't been tested yet and should be tried on someone else first, but the core insists on using Marcy, to which Andrias reluctantly agrees. He then orders Olivia and Yunan to their new tasks, Olivia being in charge of the refineries to harvest remaining resources, and Yunan in charge of getting frog villagers to work in these refineries. Both don't want to go through with it with their new orders, so the two agree to team up and save Marcy. I think we could tell from True Colors and Turning Point that they weren't on board with Andrias' plan and only tagging along based on survival instincts. But now after seeing how bad things are, the two decide to take matters into their own hands and save Marcy. Yunan is actually skeptical since 2 out of the 3 humans she knows betrayed their friends, but Olivia vouches for Marcy, solidifying that the two respect and value each other as we saw in the flashback. And ironically enough, this line comes back in a way that completely turns the tables and ends up being the reason that Marcy was selected as a host in the first place.
Besides, she's the only one who's ever defeated King Andrias in Flipwart. If anyone can outthink him, it's her.
But I gotta say, I love Olivia and Yunan's witty banter. They are definitely a duo of brains and brawn. Olivia knowing how to poke fun at Yunan to get her to hop on board and also knowing the secret parts of the castle, and Yunan being the brawn and being able to sneak past the guards. The two go to Marcy's room and open the door that we saw in the sleepover to end all sleepovers. I brought this up before, but I wonder whose room this belonged to before Marcy had it. I can't imagine Andrias would want just anyone staying in a room that led to the basement of the castle. So maybe it was the frog or toad that Andrias used to be friends with. Before the two go downstairs though, Yunan grabs Marcy's crossbow, something that will help them out later on. Once in the basement, Olivia says that she was forbidden to enter the area, but still snuck down a few times as a girl. Even stuck-up Olivia had a mischievous side at one point. But the two encounter the Moss Man we saw before during the sleepover episode. It even gives Yunan a friendship flower, but we learn more about the Moss Man being down here and also the shadowfish later on. Olivia says that she believes the underground area of the castle is where the Newt ancestors kept their otherworldly prisoners. Basically, the conquerors that Andrias mentioned before kept prisoners from other realms and worlds down here. Once at the door, which has the same eye shape as the core, the two find Marcy and help her out of the tank. The runes here say host, which, makes sense. Marcy at first thinks that the two are Sasha and Anne. Like, the last thing Marcy remembers is betraying them and then seeing Anne and the planters waiting for her in the portal. And she has yet to really apologize for her actions to both of them. And now with the way things are at the end of this episode, it will be a bit longer before that happens. But it is telling that Marcy cares about these two a lot. Her worst fear is both of them not forgiving her, as we see with the projections. Olivia's fear is breaking her oath and failing her mother, and Yunan's is a grub hog after a traumatic experience with one in her youth. Thanks to Marcy being a smarty pants when barely conscious, she is able to tell Yunan it's fake, and she is in turn able to locate the eyes that make the projections and destroy them. The crossbow that Yunan grabbed comes in clutch as it's used to destroy the last one. With the projections gone, the group is able to make their way out, but are stopped by Andrias, who reveals that part of the core resides in his crown, allowing it to see what Andrias sees and communicate with him. This further pushes Andrias's and the core's plan in motion as they capture Marcy. Here we also get backstory on what the core is. Essentially, it is a way to try and avoid death. Andrias says that studying the Mossmen helped improve medical technology, but it was once they discovered the shadowfish that Andrias and most likely his ancestors learned how to conquer death. And if we're taking what Olivia said into account, the shadowfish are actually from another realm or world. This method preserves Amphibia's greatest minds and is referred to by Andrias as the ultimate creation. I'm guessing these minds are of his ancestors, the conquerors that he mentioned before. My question is, why does it need a host exactly? I mean, this thing on its own looks pretty intimidating and powerful, but it seems the only one that it could communicate with is Andrias. And as we'll see, it gains the ability to speak through Marcy. I wouldn't be surprised if Marcy gets some other abilities as well now that the core has literally uploaded into her body. Maybe some increased speed or strength in addition to the high intelligence from having some of the greatest minds from Amphibia together. Additionally, according to the credits, Marcy may be referred to as Darcy, likely a shorthand for Dark Marcy. I am hoping this is more of the name the crew refers to this version of Marcy rather than it being the name characters refer to her as. Cause I'm gonna be honest in saying that Darcy isn't an intimidating name for the big bad of the series. I know corrupted Marcy doesn't necessarily roll off the tongue though, but I can't imagine Anne or Sasha or any character saying Darcy in an episode when referring to their brainwashed friend. Outside of the brainwash scene though, which was really creepy, Andrias did actually care about Marcy, even trying to talk the core out of using her as the host. So his actions and gestures weren't fake. Obviously, he didn't have good intentions or Marcy's best interest at heart. He still used her, but it's not like the entire relationship they had was a lie. He even looks away during the brainwash. Like, Andrias isn't a good guy, obviously, but interestingly enough, Marcy is kind of the one character that gives him any sort of humanity. But now that Marcy's personality has been removed in favor of the core, that last thread of humanity is likely gone. Andrias is a complex character in how awful and cold he can be, but then turn around and be cheerful and welcoming in his next breath. I am most curious to see his relationship with the core going forward. We know that they have talked, but we have never heard the core talk before, not until it took over for Marcy, that is. So we'll have an idea of the relationship between the two since we'll actually be able to hear how it speaks to and addresses Andrias. We know that Andrias refers to it as my lord, so it's in a higher position of power. But how does it view Andrias? A valuable ally, or maybe something closer to a disposable pawn? Honestly, I'd be down for the core to betray Andrias because that would be such a backstab for the backstabber. I know we probably won't be going back to Amphibia soon to check on Andrias, the core, Olivia, Yunan, and Marcy. I'm guessing not until we get to the second half of season 3, but all of the lore and backstory given in this episode definitely raises the stakes. I feel like Anne and the Planters will be going back to Amphibia soon, maybe around the mid-season finale, so Froggy Little Christmas. Once they're back, maybe we'll check up on Marcy as well as Sasha again since she is forming a rebellion. And she, along with Anne, better pick up the pace because with Marcy brainwashed, that just pushed Andrias's and the core's plan ahead. I know for the Froggy Little Christmas episode, part of the official synopsis is that Andrias prepares a deadly surprise, so we'll see what that is. But now, Anne and Sasha have to work at helping Marcy, and the thing is, neither of them know what state Marcy is in right now. It won't be till later that the two will have to face their friend again in her corrupted form. It will be a hard reunion for sure, but one that is highly anticipated and also approaching soon. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you have a fantastic day, and until next time guys, take care.